Welcome to the deep dive. Have you ever walked into maybe a sports bar or one of those high-tech control rooms, or even just someone's really impressive home theater setup,
Mm-hmm.
and you just marvel at how all those screens, they work together perfectly, like the right image is always on the right display, and there's no flicker, no hiccup.
Right, it just seems effortless.
Exactly. Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on the silent hero making all that happen. It's a piece of visual tech that turns all that complexity into, well, effortless control. Okay, let's unpack this.
What's fascinating here is we experience that seamless flow of video all the time in so
Yeah.
many places, but we rarely stop to think about the sophisticated tech behind it.
Yeah, it's invisible tech almost.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So our focus today is on a very specific but totally fundamental piece of hardware. It's the WolfPack 4K 30Hz 8x8 HDMI Matrix with 8 video wall views and seamless switching.
Okay, that's a mouthful.
It is. But devices like this, they're really the backbone of modern audio-visual systems. Doesn't matter if you're at home or in some huge commercial space.
And I guess the real magic is how it makes all that sophisticated stuff just disappear for the user, right? So our mission today, we want to pull back that curtain on this powerhouse device, figure out why its features actually matter to you, the listener, and show you how it delivers that smooth, uninterrupted visual experience you're probably already seeing out there. We want to help you quickly grasp the core ideas of what makes a system like this tick.
Sound good.
So let's start maybe high level. What exactly is an 8x8 HDMI matrix switcher in simple terms?
Okay. Think of it like the ultimate traffic controller, but for your video signals.
A traffic controller, I like that.
Yeah. And the 8x8 part, that's crucial. It just means you can plug in up to 8 different video sources.
Like a Blu-ray player or...
Exactly. Blu-ray player, streaming box, game console, whatever you've got. And then you can send any of those signals out to 8 separate displays. TVs, projectors.
So 8 in, 8 out.
Yeah.
Total control over what goes where.
Precisely. At its core, it lets you route any of those 8 inputs, your Blu-ray, your Xbox, your cable box, maybe a home theater PC, to any of the 8 outputs, totally independently.
Independently.
Yeah. So you could have the game on TV 1, a movie on TV 2, maybe security footage on TV 3, all from the same box. It offers incredible flexibility for all sorts of different audiovisual applications. You decide what goes where and when.
Okay, now here's where it gets really interesting, I think. Let's dive into the specific things that make this WolfPack matrix stand out. I saw 4K at 30 hertz mentioned, and also this idea of scaling. What does that actually mean for someone setting up a system?
Yeah, that's a great question. It really speaks to its versatility. So this matrix supports ultra-high definition UHD video. That's 3800 by 2160 pixels.
That's 4K.
That's 4K, right. And it does it at a 30 hertz refresh rate for both input and output. Now, you hear a lot about 60 hertz.
Right, especially for gaming.
True. But for most movies and TV shows, 4K at 30 hertz is actually perfectly fine.
Yeah.
And it uses less bandwidth. But the real genius part here is the scaling function.
Scaling. Okay, what's that do?
Think of it like a universal video translator. Let's say you have a brand new 4K Blu-ray player, but maybe one of your PVs is an older 1080p model.
Okay, yeah, happens all the time.
Right. The scaler in the matrix can take that 4K signal and automatically downscale it to 1080p just for that older TV, while still sending the full 4K to your newer displays. Or vice versa, it can upscale lower resolutions and make sure everything just works, regardless of the display's native resolution, so you don't get those annoying unsupported format messages.
Ah, that's huge, so it handles the compatibility headings.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's built for a world where not all your gear speaks the exact same video language. And yes, it adheres to the necessary standards like HDMI 1.6 and, crucially, HDCP 1.4.
HDCP, that's the copy protection thing.
That's the one. It's basically the digital handshake that allows protected content, like from Netflix or a Blu-ray disc, to actually display. Without HDCP compatibility, you just get a black screen. So HDCP 1.4 support is essential.
Wow, okay, so speaking of black screens, you mentioned earlier no more awkward black screens. That sounds like a dream, especially if you're switching inputs quickly, like during a presentation or maybe at a party. How does it even do that?
You've hit on one of its absolute killer features, seamless switching.
Seamless switching.
Okay.
Yeah.
This means there is absolutely zero black screen, no blue screen, nothing. When you switch between your video sources, it's instant.
No.
It involves, sophisticated internal processing. It essentially preloads or buffers the next signal, so the transition is immediate. Think about a critical control room situation.
Right, like monitoring security feeds?
Exactly. Even a 2-second blackout could mean missing something vital. Or even in a high-end home theater, that jarring black screen completely breaks the immersion, pulls you out of the movie.
Yeah, totally ruins the vibe.
Right. So seamless switching isn't just a nice to have. It's really fundamental for uninterrupted information and, truly immersive entertainment. It makes the technology feel invisible.
That is a game changer. Okay, and then there was something else. Video wall function with bezel corrections? That sounds really powerful.
Oh, it is. This lets you take multiple screens, say 4 or 8 identical TVs, and treat them as one single giant display. A video wall.
Like you see in airports or big lobbies.
Precisely. But when you put multiple screens together, you have those physical borders, the edges of the screens, right? The bezels.
Yeah, the black lines between them.
Exactly. Bezel correction is this really clever feature where the matrix digitally adjusts the image, slightly shifting pixels around those edges to compensate for the physical gap created by the bezels.
Huh. So it makes the image look more continuous.
Much more continuous. It helps blend the individual screens together so it looks less like a grid of TVs and more like one unified, massive, and pretty impressive picture.
Okay, that's cool. Now, beyond the visuals, which are clearly top-notch, what about sound? Because, amazing video needs amazing audio to match. Does this handle audio just as well?
It absolutely does. That's often overlooked, but critical. This device has really solid audio capabilities. It supports 3.5mm audio embedding and de-embedding.
De-embedding, meaning you can pull the audio out separately.
Exactly. So if you want to send the video to your TVs but route the audio to a dedicated surround sound system or amplifier, you can easily extract it via the 3.5mm analog outputs.
Nice. And what about formats, Dolby and all that?
Yep, it handles a good range. You've got PCM 2.1 channel, which is your standard uncompressed stereo, then Dolby Digital and DTS HD, which are common for surround sound, though note it mentions specifically supporting 2.1 channels for DTS HD, likely meaning it passes the core stereo track or down mixes, and it also supports Dolby True HD.
True HD, that's the lossless one, right? High fidelity.
That's the one. Audiophile quality exactly as the creators intended. So you get a really good range for different setups. Plus, the supported audio sampling rates are pretty impressive from 32 kHz up to 190 kHz. And the bit depth support, 16 to 24-bit, is great too.
What does bit depth give you, practically?
Think of bit depth as the precision or detail in the sound wave. More bits mean a wider dynamic range, quieter, quiet sounds, louder, loud sounds without distortion, and just generally less noise, more nuance. So 24-bit support is excellent for high-fidelity audio.
That's great for compatibility then. I can definitely imagine with so many different devices and displays, just getting everything to talk to each other properly can be a real headache sometimes. How does this matrix make sure everything plays nice?
You're right, compatibility can be a nightmare. That's where smart ED management comes into play.
EDID, right, that's the thing where the TV tells the source what it can handle.
Exactly. EDID stands for Extended Display Identification Data. It's how your display communicates its capabilities, resolution, refresh rates, audio formats back to the source device, like your Blu-ray player.
Okay.
Now, this matrix has built-in ED profiles, which cover common setups, but more importantly, it can learn or copy the ED information directly from whatever display is plugged into its output ports.
Ah, so it adapts to your specific screens.
Precisely. This is vital for preventing those frustrating situations where a source sends a signal the display can't handle. It ensures the source always outputs the optimal signal for each connected screen. It smooths out a ton of potential issues.
That sounds super useful. What about controlling the thing itself? Is it complicated?
Actually, they offer a lot of control flexibility, which is great. For simple use, there is an included IR remote control. Or on the unit itself, there are these nice two-press push buttons that have a blue backlight, making them easy to see and use.
Okay, simple enough. But what about more advanced setups?
For that, you've got options too. There's a WBGY, meaning you can control it through a web browser on your computer or tablet connected to the same network. There's also TCP/IP control for network commands, and even RS-232 serial control.
RS-232. That sounds like pro-level stuff.
It usually is, yeah. It's a standard connection port that allows professional installers to integrate the matrix into larger automation systems, think Crestron, Control4, those kinds of smart home or commercial building control systems. It allows for really precise automated control.
And I saw something about scenes.
Right. It lets you store up to 20 scenes. A scene is basically a saved configuration like Scene 1 might send input 1 to outputs 1, 2, and 3, and input 4 to output 5. Scene 2 could be totally different. So instead of manually routing everything each time, you just recall a preset scene with one command. Super handy for complex setups.
So, okay, we've covered the brains, the visual quality, the seamlessness. What about the physical side? Where does this device actually fit in a typical setup? And give us some real-world examples where this would be indispensable for our listeners.
Good question. Physically, it's designed to be pretty practical. The dimensions are 440 millimeters wide, 250 millimeters deep, and 44 millimeters high. That width, 440 millimeters, is very close to the standard 19-inch rack width, especially with mounting ears, so it fits nicely into equipment racks.
Ah, so it's rack-mountable.
Looks like it, yeah. It weighs about 3 kilograms, so it feels substantial, sturdy. And it runs on DC 24V power, consuming around 20 watts, which is reasonably efficient for something doing this much processing. It's built for stable, continuous operation.
Okay. And applications, where does it shine?
Oh, loads of places. Think about that really sophisticated home theater you mentioned. You might have a 4K projector, maybe a couple of smaller TVs in the same room or adjacent rooms. You want to switch easily between your high-end Blu-ray player, your PS5 or Xbox, maybe a streaming box like Apple TV, and have it all go to the right screens without fuss.
Yeah, managing multiple sources and screens at home can get messy fast.
Exactly. This cleans it all up. Or imagine setting up that video wall in your living room for the ultimate movie night or sports viewing party. This makes it possible. Beyond the home, it's perfect for commercial use. Sports bars needing to show multiple games on multiple TVs.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Retail stores with dynamic digital signage, corporate boardrooms for presentations, even those critical control rooms we talked about, monitoring stations, command centers, anywhere you need reliable. Flexible distribution of high-quality video from multiple sources to multiple displays, it just handles it.
Gotcha. And you mentioned the brand, WolfPack.
Yeah, WolfPack is the brand, and it's under a company called HDTV Supply, Inc. Apparently, they've been around for 24 years globally, doing audio and video stuff since 2003. They're also listed as an HDBased.org approved adopter, which shows they're involved with industry standards. And for context, this particular unit is priced around $2,000.
Okay, $2,000. So it's definitely an investment, but sounds like it packs a serious punch for that price, especially for complex setups.
It really does. It's aimed at solving those complex, multi-source, multi-display challenges effectively.
So wrapping things up a bit, whether you're aiming for that epic home entertainment setup or you're outfitting a more professional space, the core value here seems to be this WolfPack 4K 8X8 HDMI Matrix, providing really flexible, high quality, and crucially, that seamless video distribution across lots of displays. It's fundamentally about getting the right picture to the right screen at the right time without any of those annoying interruptions, making complex visual systems feel, well, effortless.
Absolutely. And, this kind of brings up a bigger thought, maybe. It raises an important question, doesn't it, in this world where we're just surrounded by more and more screens everywhere?
Yeah, screens are everywhere now.
Now, how much do devices like this WolfPack Matrix, these sort of invisible workhorses, actually underpin the entire fabric of our modern visual information entertainment landscape? They enable these incredibly complex, dynamic display systems that we interact with every single day.
Like in stadiums, Times Square, corporate lobbies.
Exactly. Even just scrolling through options on a digital menu board. These systems are often working tirelessly right behind the scenes, making it all look so easy, so seamless. And we usually have no idea about the sophisticated choreography that's happening just out of sight to make it all possible. It's pretty amazing when you stop to think about it.